Today we're diving into the latest Tesla news, and there's a lot to unpack, from questions around a potentially fake performance Model Y leak, to a limited time opportunity that could help some buyers save up to $17,500 on a new Tesla, plus fresh Model 3 improvements, supercharger expansion, software updates, and shifting EV tax incentives. There's plenty happening right now. So let's get into it and break everything down in detail. Tesla has always treated charging infrastructure as one of its biggest competitive advantages. That strategy continues to pay off. For many years, the supercharger network was a major reason to buy a Tesla specifically. Now, it's becoming something even bigger, a backbone for the entire EV market, especially in North America. But Tesla vehicles still enjoy seamless access to the supercharger network, but they're no longer alone. Either already compatible or actively transitioning to Tesla's North American Charging Standard, or NACS, for future vehicles. As things stand today, brands like Ford, General Motors, Genesis, Hyundai, Kia, Lucid, Mercedes-Benz, Mercedes-Benz, Nissan, Polestar, Rivian, and Volvo are either already using Tesla's network or in the process of making their vehicles compatible. This shift is a huge validation of Tesla's long-term strategy. Instead of competing charging standards fragmenting the market, the industry is slowly consolidating around a single, reliable solution. Tesla superchargers have built a reputation for uptime, ease of use, and consistent performance, and that reliability is exactly why other automakers are willing to adopt Tesla's system. Tesla isn't slowing down on expansion either. New supercharger locations are being built constantly. And what's especially interesting now is the scale of these new installations. Tesla is no longer just adding a few stalls here and there. They're building massive charging hubs designed to handle heavy traffic during peak travel periods. A recent personal experience highlights just how far Tesla has taken this. After driving back from Las Vegas to Los Angeles following a few nights of shows, a stop at the Barstow supercharger made a strong impression. Tesla had announced back in December that the Barstow, California site had expanded to 120 stalls, and seeing it in person really drove home how significant that is. This location serves one of the busiest EV corridors in the country, connecting Los Angeles and Las Vegas, and the scale of the site reflects that importance. The Barstow supercharger stands out not only because of its size, but also because of its design. Solar canopies cover much of the site, generating around 495 kilowatts of solar power. A large portion of the energy used by these chargers comes directly from the sun. All of the stalls at this location are V4 superchargers. And even during a busy travel period, there were still more than 90 stalls available. That kind of capacity dramatically reduces wait times and makes long-distance EV travel far less stressful. But as impressive as Barstow is, Tesla is already pushing things even further. Over in Lost Hills, California, Tesla has been working on what will soon become the largest supercharger site in the world. This project includes a total of 168 stalls, 11 megawatts of solar generation, and 10 Tesla Megapacks for energy storage. Perhaps most impressively, the entire site was constructed in just 8 months. Right now, 84 of those stalls are already open, with the rest scheduled to come online later this year, along with a dedicated lounge. What makes the Lost Hills supercharger truly special is that it operates entirely off-grid. It's powered solely by solar energy stored in megapacks, without drawing electricity from the traditional power grid at all. This is a major glimpse into Tesla's long-term vision for charging infrastructure. If Tesla can replicate this model widely, it reduces strain on the grid, improves energy resilience, makes charging infrastructure easier to deploy in remote areas. It also showcases how Tesla's different business units, solar, energy storage, and vehicles can work together in a way that competitors simply can't match yet. Seeing Megapacks deliver the power required to fast-charge dozens upon dozens of vehicles simultaneously, all using energy from the sun, is a powerful demonstration of what's possible. Looking ahead, Tesla clearly wants solar and battery storage integrated into as many supercharger locations as possible. The Lost Hills site feels like a blueprint for the future, not just a one-off experiment. Once all 168 stalls are operational, it will be fascinating to see how the site performs during peak travel seasons. And it's easy to imagine this becoming a must-stop location for EV enthusiasts. Shifting gears. Many of the new products and rumors surrounding Tesla right now revolve around the Model Y, according to ongoing sightings and reports. Tesla may be preparing several different variations of its best-selling vehicle. One of the most talked about possibilities is a larger Model Y. This would be a long wheelbase version with 3 rows of seating that are actually comfortable, not just suitable for kids. The rumored configuration includes 6 seats, with captain's chairs in the second row separated by a center aisle. This design would make the third row far more accessible and usable. The earliest rumors suggest this larger Model Y would debut in China. That's consistent with Tesla's recent focus on that market. Reports now indicate that this version could launch as soon as July for Chinese customers, with other markets potentially following later. This makes sense strategically. China is a massive market for family-oriented vehicles, and a larger Model Y would allow Tesla to compete more directly with vehicles like the Rivian R1S, Kia EV9, Hyundai Ioniq 9, and similar 3-row electric SUVs. For buyers who need more space but don't want to step all the way up to a Model X, a long wheelbase Model Y could hit a sweet spot. Tesla can price it competitively. Even at a premium over the standard Model Y, it could become a strong seller. The biggest question is timing for markets like the United States. Historically, China tends to get new variants first, especially when they're tailored to local demand. So us buyers may need to wait a bit longer at the other end of the spectrum. There are persistent rumors about a smaller or more stripped-down Model Y. This idea has been floating around for quite some time, and recent sightings have only added fuel to the speculation. Some covered prototypes spotted near Tesla factories appear, at first glance, to be shorter in certain areas, particularly at the front and rear. Analysts have measured photos and suggested the vehicle could be 10 to 15 centimeters shorter, but camera angles and perspective can easily distort those comparisons. There's been a lot of back and forth around these sightings. Some observers are convinced they're seeing a new, smaller Model Y, or even a 2-door variant. Others argue it's simply the existing Model Y with camouflage, designed to hide specific details. One particularly confusing detail is that Tesla appears to be covering the rear door handle in some photos, which isn't something they've typically done in the past. This led some people to speculate about a 2-door configuration, but that idea doesn't really align with Tesla's practical design philosophy. When comparing these prototypes side by side with current Model Y vehicles, the overall size looks nearly identical. Eliminating 2 doors wouldn't make much sense for Tesla, especially given the Model Y's role as a family-friendly vehicle. What does seem more plausible is that Tesla is testing a more affordable version of the same-sized Model Y, potentially, with smaller wheels, fewer premium features, and lower overall cost. The smaller wheels seen on some prototypes could indicate a new 18-inch wheel option, which would help reduce cost and potentially improve efficiency. This would align well with a stripped-down Model Y aimed at budget-conscious buyers. While a truly smaller Tesla hatchback could be popular, there's no clear evidence yet that these sightings represent such a vehicle. What we do know is coming very soon is the updated Performance Model Y, just like the Performance Model 3. This version has been delayed slightly. Many of the camouflaged sightings we're seeing could simply be performance variants undergoing testing. The Performance Model Y has already been spotted multiple times. And earlier sightings confirmed the presence of a new rear diffuser. More recent images revealed what appeared to be a redesigned front bumper. At first glance, this bumper looked significantly more aggressive than the standard Model Y, with styling cues similar to the updated Plaid Model S. That immediately sparked excitement, as the Plaid Model S front end is far more distinctive and sporty than before. However, things became more complicated when higher quality images surfaced. These showed what appeared to be a standard Model Y front bumper, suggesting that the more aggressive image may have been edited or faked. It's entirely possible that someone manipulated a low-resolution photo to make it appear more dramatic than it actually is. That said, it's still very likely that the performance Model Y will receive some visual updates. Even if the front bumper doesn't change as dramatically as initially rumored, we can reasonably expect new performance wheels, red brake calipers, a more aggressive rear diffuser, and a carbon fiber spoiler. Inside, Tesla is expected to add sport seats similar to those introduced in the Performance Model 3. These seats offer better bolstering and support, making them more appropriate for spirited driving. Performance-wise, the updated Model Y is expected to deliver around 510 horsepower, matching the Performance Model 3 that should translate to a 0 to 60 time of roughly 3.3 seconds. An improvement over the current 3.5-second figure. An adaptive suspension is also rumored, which would be a major upgrade for ride quality and handling. Carbon fiber interior accents would further differentiate the Performance Model Y from standard trims. For the first time, the Performance Model Y should look and feel meaningfully different from its non-performance counterparts. In the past, the differences were subtle enough that most people wouldn't notice unless they were looking closely. This update could finally give the performance trim a more distinct identity. All of these Model Y variants tie directly into a much bigger issue Tesla and EV buyers are facing right now: pricing and incentives. The next few months are especially important because federal EV tax credits in the United States are officially going away. September 30th is the final day to take delivery of a qualifying EV and receive the $7,500 federal tax credit at the point of purchase. Simply placing an order isn't enough. Delivery must occur by that date. This deadline is likely to drive a surge in demand over the next 3 months as buyers rush to lock in the credit. The used EV tax credit is also ending at the same time, eliminating the $4,000 incentive for qualifying used vehicles. Starting October 1st, these federal incentives disappear entirely. At the same time, a new incentive has entered the picture. Under recently passed legislation, buyers can potentially deduct up to $10,000 per year in interest paid on a new vehicle loan. This applies to vehicles assembled in the United States. It's purchased between 2025 and 2028 and priced under certain thresholds. There are income limits and exclusions, including fleet, commercial, and leased vehicles. But for eligible buyers, this creates an unusual opportunity. For a limited time, it may be possible to stack the existing $7,500 EV tax credit with this new interest deduction. According to reporting from USA Today, this could result in total first-year savings of up to $17,500 for buyers who meet all the requirements and have sufficiently high interest payments. While that scenario is fairly specific, interest rates are high enough right now that it's not unrealistic for many buyers. This creates a narrow but meaningful window where buying an EV, particularly a Tesla, could make more financial sense than waiting. Automakers will likely respond to the loss of tax credits by lowering prices. But that process takes time, and not every company has the margins to do it easily. Tesla is better positioned than most, but even then, adjustments won't happen overnight. According to USA Today, the average new EV currently costs around $57,734, even with the $7,500 tax credit. That still leaves EVs slightly more expensive than comparable gas vehicles. However, EVs make up for that difference over time through lower fuel and maintenance costs, saving an estimated $5,195 over 5 years. As incentives disappear, used EVs may become more attractive, since their prices will rise less than new EVs once credits are gone. Looking further ahead, the end of tax credits also gives Tesla more flexibility in battery sourcing. Without needing to meet strict requirements for incentives, Tesla could rely more heavily on cheaper LFP battery cells from China for standard-range vehicles. This could help keep prices down, even without government support. In the short term, expect increased demand, longer wait times, and a rush to take delivery before September 30th. After that, Q4 in 2026 could bring major changes to Tesla's lineup, pricing, and battery strategies. Finally, Tesla continues to roll out smaller but meaningful software updates. One notable change is a new version of the Robotaxi app, which remains invite-only for now. Tesla is iterating quickly adding features like adjustable pickup locations with predefined safe spots. This should reduce confusion and improve the overall experience compared to traditional ride-hailing apps. Tesla has also added quality-of-life improvements to its main app, including better supercharger information. New icons now indicate whether a charger is valid or requires paid parking, helping drivers avoid surprises when navigating to a charging location. These kinds of updates may seem small, but they add up. And they highlight one of Tesla's biggest strengths: rapid software development and continuous improvement. Altogether, this is a fascinating moment for Tesla. Between expanding infrastructure, evolving vehicle lineups, shifting incentives, and constant software updates, the next few months could reshape how and when people decide to buy an EV.